Don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts or story in the comments, and subscribe to our latest stories. Before I start, tell me where you are watching me from. I wonder which cities and towns will join me in this memory that has followed me for years. I still remember the evening when all of this began, even though I never expected it to become something I would think about again and again. At the time, it felt small, almost ordinary, just another Saturday, the kind that slips quietly between weeks and leaves barely a trace. But sometimes the moments that seem the simplest become the ones that stay with us the longest. I had just finished grocery shopping when I ran into Daniel, my friend's son. I had known him since he was little, back when he used to run around the yard while we sat on the porch sipping tea and complaining about the weather. But now he was older, settled, and somehow carried himself with the kind of calm confidence that made you feel at ease around him. Still, I saw him as the boy who used to bring me dandelions and ask if they counted as flowers. He smiled when he saw me, that warm, easy smile he must have inherited from his mother. "Oh, hey, I was just thinking about you," he said, shifting the bag of snacks in his hand. "I was actually heading to the cinema. They're showing that old classic you love. I remember you talking about it last year. If you're not busy, wanna join?" I blinked, surprised. Not in a bad way, just caught off guard by the spontaneity of it all. It wasn't every day that someone remembered something I'd said in passing. And certainly not every day that someone younger extended such a thoughtful invitation. "Well," I said, adjusting my bag on my shoulder, "I wasn't exactly planning anything exciting for the evening." "Perfect," he said, with a little nod that felt almost reassuring. "Then come with me. It'll be fun." There wasn't anything strange about it. It was friendly, casual, the kind of small kindness that warms you without you noticing. So I went. The cinema was quieter than usual, the kind of quiet that makes the air feel softer, like the world decided to take a breath. The lobby lights were dim, golden, reflecting off the polished tiles. People milled around with popcorn buckets and big paper cups, but it still felt peaceful, almost nostalgic. We walked side by side, and I caught myself noticing small things. The way he held the door for me. The way he slowed his pace so I could catch up. How he listened, really listened, when I made an offhand comment about the movie poster. Inside the theater, the room was only half full. The lights glowed a warm amber as we found 2 seats near the middle. Not too close, not too far. There was a gentle hum of conversation around us, the rustle of jackets, the soft crackle of popcorn bags. Before the movie started, he leaned slightly toward me, not close, just enough so I could hear him without the need to raise his voice. "I'm really glad you came," he said. Sometimes it feels good to share something simple with someone who gets it. Something about that sentence settled into me in a way I didn't expect. I wasn't used to being chosen for small moments. Life had become busy, rushed, full of obligations that rarely made room for spontaneity or connection. Yet here I was, sharing a quiet evening in a dimly lit theater with someone who remembered the things I said and valued my company enough to invite me. As the lights faded completely, the screen flickered to life. The glow washed over our faces, soft and warm. The movie began with its familiar music, the kind I hadn't heard in years. And all at once, the world outside felt very far away. I didn't say anything, but I felt something shifting gently inside me, like a reminder that unexpected things still existed, that small connections could still spark something meaningful, that life wasn't finished handing out surprises. Halfway through the film, there was a quiet moment on screen, a slow, emotional scene that always made me reflect. And without looking directly at me, Daniel said quietly, almost to himself, "This part always gets to me." It was such a simple comment, but it opened a small doorway between us. We didn't need to say anything more. It was enough that we were both there, sharing the same moment, seeing the same scene through our own experiences, yet somehow understanding each other without words. By the time the movie ended and the lights rose again, I felt as if the evening had stretched longer than it actually had, as if something subtle and important had happened beneath the surface. I couldn't name it, not yet, but I recognized its weight. As we walked out of the theater, the cool night air brushed against us, carrying the faint scent of rain that hadn't yet fallen. "Thank you for coming," he said again, genuine and simple. "Really?" And I realized then that this memory would stay with me, not because anything dramatic happened, but because it reminded me of a part of life I had almost forgotten. The quiet magic of being seen, valued, and invited into someone else's world, even for just an evening. When I got home, I sat in the stillness of my living room for a long moment, replaying the night in my mind. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't complicated. It was something deeper, something about connection and timing and the unexpected warmth of simple gestures, and even now, years later, I can still feel that gentle shift inside me, the beginning of a story I never expected.